Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see something on our show or you have a bright idea, drop them in the comments below or hit us on any one of our social media outlets. Holler at us, we holler back. But let's jump right into this. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host. It's that man, our own here, we call him our sports almanac here at Blow the Whistle Sports, and his name is Mr. Steven Rubain. How you doing, sir?
Man, I am feeling much, much better. It's like week by week. A couple weeks ago, I was in hiding, came out last week, and now I'm at peace. So I'm ready to get right into sports. Let's do this. Let's
Okay.
do it.
I see we got a little fuzzy connection, but as long as we can hear you, we okay. Long as we can hear you, we okay.
There you go.
Now, how was your week though?
Like I said, 1 week at a time, much better. I've recovered from my Lakers and the Cavs not making it. I'm excited about the NFL season. We've now got some NFL news to get into. And so looking forward to the summer. It's going to be a fun summer.
Hey, Steve, we don't need you to go into hiding. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we put our foot in our mouth and we just don't get it right. It's okay. It's okay because it's our opinion.
I'm a passionate fan. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know that. So when I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. Sometimes you gotta take a step away. Sometimes you gotta take a step backwards and move forward. So that's what I did.
I totally get it. But it's time to get into some of that BTWS sports news.
Yes.
Where are we going first, Steve?
Well, speaking of sports news, let's start with the NBA first. We got a NBA MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We knew it was a two-man race. It was between him and the Joker, Nikola Jokic. Some people were, Jokic had a career year this year.
Right.
Crazy stats, but the Oklahoma City Thunder has been the best team all year. So this is that old debate. Should the MVP be the best player on the best team, or should it be the best player overall? So what's your feeling on that?
The best player overall.
Ooh, I don't know. I think I got to go with.
That's just my feeling about it. You can.
I think winning.
Pick the player on the best team.
So let me ask you a question then. If the best player overall is on a losing team, should they be considered for MVP?
Ooh, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, see, that's where the question lies. Should winning be the deciding factor overall? If you have a close race between two people, should you go with the guy who has whose team is doing better, or should you go with the guy who may have better stats but his team is not doing well?
Well, I feel it should be two separate awards. One for the guy that it has a winning record, and also one for the guy needs to be recognized who's the best overall player. It should be the two awards for two different people.
Because then we can get into that. Think about years where Barry Sanders was the best player, but played on poor teams and didn't get the MVP. You could have given him the MVP 6-7 times if it was based on the best player in the league. But yet his teams didn't do well, so other guys who were on winning teams got the award over him. So it's a tough call.
Well, like I said, two different awards, but both should be prestigious awards because think about this. If you're on the worst team or one of the worst teams and you still stick out to be the best player in the league, even if you got to get that accolade. That's a huge accolade to be on a trash team and still stand up, still stand tall.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of people just feel like that's too bad. Unfortunately, you're a victim of your team.
No,
but we got to recognize those whose teams win. And so, yeah, I don't know. It can go either way with me. I'm
you're
okay.
A victim of your team with a losing record, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm okay with 2 awards. So I mean, I'd be fine with that. But I am happy for Shea Gilgeous because he's well deserved for him. He's been a star all year, and so I know the Clippers are just eating themselves alive. They had him his rookie year, and they traded him away for Paul George, and Clippers going to be Clippers.
sometimes you just be too hasty. But
Just too hasty, and
we can go back with the Clippers. The Clippers, they're known to make bad decisions. Do
yeah.
you know before Kobe came to the Lakers, the Clippers, they
Oh,
worked out with Kobe and it was one of the best workouts they ever had in their gym.
oh
And
yeah,
they told Kobe that they couldn't go with him because then they would be the laughing stock of the league.
yeah. I heard that story. Well, but that was a whole that was a whole different time though. That was the Sterling era. So we know how horrible Sterling was as an owner.
Yeah.
I think second only to Daniel Snyder as for the worst owner in the history of team sports.
I believe we have some more Sterlings in there. It's just hard to find, when you have a good record or you just haven't your slip hasn't shown in the
Mhm.
conference or something. You get away with that for a while because how long was that guy a part of the league
It was
before his true feelings came out?
20 years plus, and so yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah, that was
And my
well,
my my going statement with him was if he was that blatant to do it in front of that girl that he was doing it in front of, he had to have been doing and talking recklessly in front of other coaches in the league.
oh, they said. I mean, people have come out, players have come out with stories to tell on that. So I mean, he was horrible. He was horrible. But money and power sometimes covers up for a lot. I mean, we're seeing now with the Diddy trial. When you got money and power, it's amazing what people will do and what you can get away with for as long as he did. So
Yeah, it's amazing what money can do until the well dries up.
yeah, and then all of a sudden now everybody wants to speak and say, "Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, he did this. He did that." Okay, well, where
Yeah,
were you
now
back
all of a sudden the person's a horrible monster.
right now? Where were you back in 2003 when he was doing all this stuff? So yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
I've been schooled on that. Certain people, victims have a different way of looking at things after they've been traumatized for so long
right,
that hey, I guess you have to leave that open to you only know how it truly goes when you are a victim.
right.
Um, and it's a slippery slope. That's why I just stay off of those things right there. That's
Well, it's,
because I guess being a psychologist, you would need to bring a psychologist in to really get to the bottom of why things get stressed out and people don't say things immediately. It's crazy.
I mean, ultimately, it still comes down to the person who did the wrong is still wrong. So we can
True.
we can victim shame or victim blame all day, but the person
True.
who was doing the actions has to be held accountable. So
Has to be held accountable.
these people are sitting here now saying, "Well, she tolerated it, so you know, let him go."
Well,
No,
like I said, I'll just leave that there because um, I believe if a person's a horrible person, they were a horrible person the whole time, and most of the time, everybody gets an inkling and sees what the person's about, and what? Let's switch up stories and let's go to something else because
uh,
that's hard to talk about, especially not being involved in it because people's feelings get involved, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by my opinions because you shouldn't be hurt by my opinion because my opinion is only my opinion, not your opinion, and I just uh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
well, since we're gonna segue out of this, let's talking about owners. Since we did mention about Daniel Sterling as a bad
Yeah.
owner, we had a death today in the NFL ownership hood. Jim Irsay, who
Mm.
took over for his dad back in 1997 for the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
I think the thing that we're going to most recognize Jim Irsay for was he was a genius who decided to trade away Peyton Manning so that they can go out and draft Andrew Luck. And in hindsight, that didn't turn out to be the best of moves, as Peyton Manning went on to Denver and got 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 ring. And Andrew Luck, of course, as we know, never
Retired early.
retired early, 1 playoff win, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's probably the thing he'll be probably most recognized for. He did get, of course, the Colts Super Bowl with Manning, so I guess
Right.
he'll get love for that. But some questionable moves on his part, and so he did pass away today. I think he was 65. So
Yeah.
we're gonna give our condolences to his
1959 to
family.
2025, Jim
Yeah.
Irsay.
Yeah, so we'll give condolences definitely to the Colts family, his family.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be a tough time for them. So, that being said, I wonder where they go now. Dad's passed away, he's passed away. Does it stay in the family still? I mean, this has been one of the longest running family-owned teams in the league. I mean, I think other than the Giants and the Steelers, I think they're like the 3rd oldest as far as being run
Well,
by
I
the
would say
same.
yes, it would stay in the family unless the NFL has something to be like, no, um, it was supposed to pass down like this, and since he wasn't able to pass it down, then we have to pay you guys out and reclaim it because they still got to get paid out for it. So that's why I
Right.
don't think it'll leave the family. Because if
Well,
you make somebody pay out something, normally they like to maximize, unless there's something in a owner's contract to where you pass away and you don't have the rights handed off to somebody else, then we're able to come in there and basically hijack your team,
but remember the
or
shield.
in better words, recycle.
Yeah, but think about the NFL though. The NFL is a shield, so that they can make money. And then think about what the NFL franchise is going for now. There might be, I think the last team that was sold was the Commanders for what 6.5 billion. How
My
much do you
goodness.
think how much could the Colts be on the open market? So money always talks. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. But we do have a big story in the NFL today. The tush push stays. They have
Wow.
a vote today for the tush push. They need to have 24 teams agree to ban it. In order for it to be banned, they only got 22. So,
Wow,
so
22
10
people
teams.
really were trying to get rid of the tush push?
I know.
Are
But
people really scared of the tush push?
but the thing that shocked me though, I was sitting here thinking about the 10 teams that agreed to keep the tush push. Of course, the Eagles were one. I would have thought the second team that would probably want to keep the tush push would be the Bills. I mean, they have a perfect scenario that you would think the tush push would work for. Big, strong quarterback, good offensive line. You think they were made for a tush push, but they actually voted to ban it. So what's going
Well,
on?
they tried it a bunch of times, but they I guess whoever started on the Eagles, they
Yeah.
put together that front line so amazing that I've seen people try to duplicate the tush push, and it just doesn't work for them. I don't
No.
guess they don't get down far enough. They don't get the right leverage, but the tush push works for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia Eagles only. Now, some people might get away with it from time to time, but constantly the Philly just looks like they're experts at it. Oh, shout out to Glenn White, Panther Nation in the house.
Panther Nation. All right.
Shout out to Darnell, Mr. Bang Bang 49er gang, also in the house, watching us live on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. We love. We don't like to call our fans. We call them our listeners.
Yes.
Yes.
Family members.
Family member, yes, because this is a family. We love and appreciate each and every one of you who come in week after week because
Yes, sir.
we're a growing product. We're learning, we're building along the way. We're
Yes,
figuring out
sir. And
what
we got
works, what
some
doesn't
nice
work.
stuff in store for you guys.
That's right. That's right. And so we want
More
to hear from you
competitions
guys.
to come.
Yeah, we
More
want to hear what you guys
giveaways to
think.
come.
What do you guys think about the tush push? What do you guys think about what we talked about earlier with the ownerships? You know, are we're talking about Sterling. We got into Sterling because what were we talking about before Sterling? We were criticizing
Sterling,
myself.
we talked about the owner that passed away, and we talked about the tush push.
Yes. But I think it was the owner. We got into Sterling because we were talking about somebody else. We were
1-909-844-4443 if you want to call in and let us know what you feel about the tush push. Are you happy that it was able to stay, or did you want them to vote it out? That's the number is 1-909-844-4443. Holler at us. We are here and we are accepting phone calls now.
I remember now. We were talking about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander getting the MVP, and we talked about how what a horrible trade they made, trading him away for Paul George, and then we got into not Snyder, but Sterling, about how horrible owner the Clippers were back in the day, and how many bad decisions they made. They made horrible draft choices, horrible trades. I mean, I remember them days. The old sports arena. You remember the old LA Sports Arena?
Yes, sir. I used to work there.
Yeah, that was an ugly building.
That was a job too, boy.
It was a job. I bet
Seating
it was.
people seating people so I could see me some free NFL games.
Yeah.
I used to walk people to their seats. They used to show be mad, like, man, can I get to my seat? Like, after this play. Wait a minute. Let's go. Because I was there to watch the game. The game only.
Game only. That's it. It's always, go back and have those memories. Go back and just think about, during that time, what you went through and what you did.
Oh man, that was so much fun. I used to catch the bus up there.
Yeah.
Just stay there, and then when you work there, you can get players' autographs.
Right.
It was a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I want to say that probably was a big perk of the job, was that connection that you get. So, oh yeah,
to be in that hot sun every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it had to have that part. Had to have that part.
Had to.
So what's going on with these NBA playoffs, Steve?
Well, I think we got a comment about is it Angel Reese? Or are you talking about Angel City?
Well, Angel Reese, are you talking about the push with Caitlin?
Yeah, I think we got it. We can't let that not pass. Since we're in a basketball mode now, before we get to the NBA playoffs, what's your take on that? Before I give you my take, what do you take on?
I believe it's a good rivalry. I wish that it would just stay a rivalry and not be a black and white thing, because I think that's taking it a little too far, and I believe that the animosity should be there, only because they're on separate teams. Not animosity to hurt each other, but that inner self dog that makes you want to win, that makes you want to be better than that person, and Angel Reese, star of the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is the star of the WNBA as of the last season. Now we have a new set of stars coming in.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen it in all sports. It shouldn't be any different because they're women compared to if they're men. I mean, whoever's the top dog is going to have people who are going to hate on them. I mean, we've seen it in NBA, we've seen it in NFL, we've seen it in baseball. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. So,
my only issue with the WNBA, and these women deserve to get paid more, and the only way you're going to get paid more is by getting better attendance. Right. Caitlin and Angel Reese are the people to drive the attendance up. Number one, Caitlin. Number two, Angel Reese. Caitlin needs to be treated accordingly. I mean, it is what it is. You don't get to pick who's the best player in the WNBA. We do. The fans do. We get to say who we want to see, and they do that by ticket sales. And she's a big draw, and the other women need to jump behind her. And and get these ticket sales up so they can get more dollars in their pocket.
I mean, that's the bottom line is that the star player puts money in everybody's pocket, not just their own. And so they got to look at it that way is that the better Caden Clark plays, the more money they're all going to get. So you got to have that superstar. It was the same with Tiger Woods in golf. When Tiger Woods was in the 90s dominating the golf scene, all the other golfers were jealous of him, hating on him. But he made millions and millions of dollars for not just himself, but for many other golfers as well, because all those tournaments, the price went up and up and up because people want to come out and see what was Tiger Woods going to do every week. So,
same with NBA. Shout out to Derek from Cali Cat Pack and the Roaring Riot. Yes, sir. They in the house. Hey, Derek and Glenn, I got a show coming, and I want both y'all to be a part of it. I want us to do a Panther talk, and I want both of y'all to come on there regularly, and let's get it on, man. Let's talk about our team and our team only. Yes, sir. I'll hit y'all in the DMs and let's put that together. Let's put it together because hey, that's gonna be great. Great for Panther Nation, Roaring Riot, and the Cali Cat Pack. Let's do it.
Since you did bring up the Panthers, we do got one Panther story. Moose Muhammad, the son of Musa Muhammad, was cut today. What's over there? What's going on there?
You know what? My team has been making some cuts. So I don't know what they're seeing in practice. I don't know what's going on, but for you to cut the star wide receiver from Carolina, son, without us getting to see him one time on the field, he didn't even make the
he didn't make the off season workouts. He didn't make it to the mandatory workouts. So I mean,
what you mean? Moose wasn't training them? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm confused. I was kind of shocked. I said I'll bring it up on the show, but I was kind of shocked myself. I said, why did they sign him in the first place if they weren't even going to give him a chance?
I don't know what was the thinking there. I don't know why would you cut him so soon. There's still time, but I was mad when Clowney got cut. Why did Clowney get cut? I thought I know Clowney was his age; he was getting up in age, but that's what I'm saying. Me, that was heavy on the rotation, rotate him in and out.
At least with Clowney, he had a year to see what he could do, and there was financial implications involved in cutting Clowney. I mean, with Muhammad, he's on a rookie contract. He's on a minimum pay anyway. What was the incentive? Unless they just really felt like he had no chance to make the team, let's cut him early and give him a chance to go somewhere else.
Or something off script happened that we don't know about, and he offended some people because that's the only other thing I could think of.
They had to think of too. So yeah, I was a little shocked by that. I thought I'd bring it up, but we've been ducking and dodging the NBA playoffs, so I guess we need to get these playoffs before we get into our other topics. So we're now in game one of the conference finals. So yesterday we had the game one for the Western Conference Final, and Oklahoma City put hands on Minnesota. I think the final score was like 112-88 or 114-88. Oklahoma City's legit. I mean, we've been trying to duck and dodge them and to call every other team but them, but they've been the number one team all year in the West, and I think they're going to get all the way to the finals. I don't see anybody knocking them out.
So, well, I got to see it, but right now we got a juicy one going on: the Knicks and the Pacers. Yeah, Knicks 123, Pacers 118, but the Pacers are close on their heels.
Okay, well, that was the big one because if you look at the playoffs now, you got three small market teams: Indiana, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City. But you got the one big one, and that's New York City. And we all know when you talk New York City, you're talking celebrity. So I mean, if you want to think the NBA wants to see Indiana make the finals over the Knicks, I want whatever you're smoking.
Hey,
The
I already
NBA
know
will do anything.
the Knicks already got Long Island, Harlem.
Yeah,
Man, they got everything behind them out there in New York right now.
they got every borough, but they got Hollywood because they bring out the celebrities. They bring
Yes,
out
sir.
the top-notch celebrities. So
You know,
the
Spike Lee been representing with his Knick colors, everything.
yes, so you know how that goes. So the NBA will do anything possible to get them in the finals. So keep an eye on that. We see some questionable calls.
All
We're
right,
gonna
we're at the
know.
beginning of both of these games, Steve. Now I know that
I'm just
I picked
putting it
Golden
out there.
State, you picked the Lakers, then you moved to Cleveland, but
Yeah.
now it's down to the nitty gritty. It's down to the
Right. Well, I'm just
to the
saying.
two
I'm not.
best teams or the four best teams about to
Yeah.
turn into the two best teams.
Right.
Pick the winner out of the two.
Well, like I said, I think they're gonna do everything possible to get the Knicks in the final because it's New York. So I
Yeah,
don't.
you said you think they're gonna do every possible to get the Knicks in the finals. Who is your pick?
I'm going with the Knicks. I know how the NBA works. The NBA is all about the do re mi, and that means money. So
And out
I
of
got the
Minnesota
Knicks.
and OKC?
I had the OKC and the Knicks. Yeah, that's my picks. I think
Okay,
that's what
OKC
the
and the Knicks.
NBA wants. And so speaking of
OKC
that,
and the Knicks.
uh,
I think it'd be the Knicks in Minnesota.
yeah. So okay. All right.
Hey, and that's
Okay.
that's down one game, and I still think that.
All right. We can do a gentleman wager on that one. A nice little dollar. I
Hey,
got
but
the
moving right along, let's get into some more juicy news because it
well,
was kind of slow on the
we got
front.
a juicy NBA story. Shaq this week, you know, Shaq's always good to come out with one crazy comment after the other. So you know they had the NBA draft lottery last week, and surprise, surprise, the Dallas Mavericks got the #1 pick, even though they had the 11th best odds to get it. People are conspiracy theorists. You know, we know quite a few of those conspiracy theorists out there who feel like Dallas was given the draft lottery in order to make up for the Doncic trade.
Right.
So now they got their customary, now they got their new hope in this guy Cooper Flag. So they think that this would be done in order to give them that new superstar to take the place of Doncic.
And what
So
do you think
Shaq,
about Cooper Flag? What do you think about him?
I've been following him since high school. He's the real deal. He's going to be a superstar.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so that's still being said. So Shaq came out this week, and he said that before, because of course, Shaq was going to be the preeminent #1 pick of the draft the year he came out of
Right.
college. So he said that the time David Stern, who was the commissioner of the NBA at the time, asked him before the draft, "Do you like hot weather or cold weather?" So of course, Shaq, being from the South, said, "I like hot weather." And then, of course, he gets drafted #1 by who? The Orlando Magic. Now, last we checked,
Shout out to
Florida
Charles Tongue. He just got in the house. He said Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah, okay. And what's the Chargers doing? They made a couple moves. They made a couple. I mean, I don't know why they let J.K. Dobbins go. I still think you could have kept Dobbins, but we'll see. You think the guy for the Steelers is a better option for them than Dobbins?
Not sure. Hey, you know what? Let's move to boxing, Steve.
You want to get to boxing? But
Yeah, I want because there's a question. There's something that Mayweather came out and said in the news, and I want you to tell everybody. And let's talk about this.
well, Mayweather, those who don't follow the show know Floyd Mayweather is not one of my favorite people. And so I don't make any qualms about the fact that I had issues with many of the things about Floyd Mayweather's career. I mean,
Hey,
you of
you can
course,
say what you want to say. Floyd Mayweather is the best of the best, the GOAT at boxing.
no.
And he said it himself, didn't he?
Yes. Now, all those who really understand and know boxing knows there's only one GOAT, and his name is float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, Muhammad Ali. The GOAT by far, because what he did for boxing, and let's keep in mind, boxing went from kind of a, favoritism between those who are into the sport. They got good crowds for those who like boxing, but it wasn't something that was on TV. It wasn't something that was international. Muhammad Ali took the sport of boxing, not only made it into a national pastime, but made it into an international pastime. The Rumble in the Jungle.
And here in Blood Sports, we give it a strong gratitude to Mr. Muhammad Ali.
Absolutely. And what makes him to go beyond everything else is because nobody can sit there and say that he ducked or dodged anyone. He fought all comers. If there was anybody who had two arms and could throw a punch, Muhammad Ali got in the ring with him. And now,
you know what? From our LeBron and Kobe debate to this, you know what? Now I'm starting to see what the GOAT means to a lot of people. So we can give Muhammad Ali the GOAT of boxing because the GOAT is a popularity contest. We'll give Mayweather the best of the best award. How about that? The best of the best.
No, because if you say the best of the best, you gotta fight it. You gotta put your name out there. There's so many guys that Mayweather dodged or he waited till they were late in their career.
Whoa. This is the boxing game. If boxing doesn't want you to dodge somebody, if boxing wants you to put to make you fight somebody, then put that in the rules. But right now, don't try to pick and choose. Boxing allows you to do exactly what's going on. Boxing has the power to put a bracket out there where you have to fight this person, that person, and this person to get here. Boxing has not done that, and that is
always been the case, though. Let's go back to the 80s.
Well, it's always the case, but guess what? Mayweather has not lost a fight.
Yes.
Say what you want to say. He's the best of the best.
We can have this argument over and over again. Now, Manny Pacquiao.
It's not an argument. It's facts. It's actual factual. Does Mayweather have a blemish on his record?
Here's two things.
I'm asking the question.
I mean, he's 50-0.
How many fights has Muhammad Ali lost?
Muhammad Ali lost 6 fights.
How many has Mayweather lost?
He lost 0. You want to talk about who he lost to?
The best of the best.
No, Ali lost to the best of. Now, Ali went too far in his career. He had a couple of cheap losses at the end. But I don't think losing to Joe Frazier is a bad loss. I don't think losing to Ken Norton is a bad loss.
Okay, well let me be
losing to Larry Holmes is not a bad loss.
What we're talking about, we're not talking about the losses. We're talking about best of the best fighter ever. Because we're not going to say greatest of all time, because greatest of all time does not mean that it's the best of the best in the sport. Greatest of all time means a popularity contest. Plus, you did some great things in whatever sport that you were in. So that's what we're calling the GOAT now, is a popularity contest. It's like the people's champ. So we people get crowned the GOAT because people just love him, and his name reigns supreme. Now, what I'm going off of in boxing right now is straight off record, best of the best, money, Mayweather. Period.
Well, I got one person out there who would really love to get his hands on him again, and that's Canelo Alvarez. Now, for those who don't know the history behind these two, Floyd Mayweather, when Canelo was just an up-and-coming, I think 20, 21-year-old, still trying to find his way, he got in a ring with him. He won by majority decision. So you guys know majority decision means 2 judges had Mayweather, 1 judge had Alvarez. Not a decisive win, but it was a win nonetheless. Now, if Mayweather was a man of dignity and class, he would have given that man another fight. But of course, Mayweather's like, I'm not going to bring that guy again. So he ducked and dodged him. Now Alvarez, now a seasoned fighter, is like, let's get this fight on now. Let's do it. You think Mayweather's going to do it? Nope.
Well, once again, boxing, this goes out to you. Please help the sport. And then what I mean helping the sport is make guidelines for boxers to climb the ranks, put the best of the best in front of them so we can get a clear, undisputed world champion. So therefore, no one can say anybody dodged anybody. But right now, the way the boxing game is set up to where you can pick and choose your fights.
Right.
No. We didn't do it that way, Steve. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. And then anybody can say you should fight this person, you should fight that person, and this guy is good. But what I can say who's good is Money Mayweather.
And
Zero losses.
And that's why I stick to Floyd Mayweather has killed the boxing game. Before Floyd Mayweather.
No. Don't put that on his back, because does Floyd Mayweather run the boxing commission? Does Floyd Mayweather run the belt commission who issues out belts? No, neither one does he run. What he did was he saw a sport, he came in and he excelled at it, and he played the game the way you're supposed to play the game. Because at any time, the boxing commission or the WB, the W, they could have put guidelines on who you had to fight, which would take all that away. They did not. Make it make sense. Don't blame the fighter for navigating the right way. Right. And then furthermore, when they made him fight Manny Pacquiao had lost like 4 or 5 fights. Why would an undefeated fighter get in the ring with somebody who has nothing to lose, and he has everything to lose?
Because the boxing public is supposed to want to see that fight. It's supposed to be about what the public wants to see. The public wanted to see Pacquiao versus Mayweather. And speaking of Pacquiao, he has a fight coming up in July. So I think he's now 47 years old, 46.
Yeah.
He's still fighting.
Like 10 losses? Yeah. Come on now.
It's me.
I bet Pacquiao want to fight a new fighter that's coming out. Come on, man.
The public wants to see
that's what's killing boxing. Not Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather got in, got his feet wet, whipped everybody in front of him, came out with an undefeated record, and people hate him for it.
Yeah,
people hate him for it.
Yeah.
Hate him or not, he's still the best of the best.
No. It's going to always be Ali all day.
I mean, we can go back and forth about who people wanted him to fight. Make the boxing commission make it a regulation on who you have to fight and who's the next person in line, and then we won't have that issue. That is not a fighter's issue. That is the boxing commission issue.
Look, we can name the top 5 all-time Ali fights. We can take the top 5 all-time Mayweather fights. It's not even close.
Yeah. That's why Ali is the GOAT, the greatest of all times. That's a popularity contest. And don't get me wrong. I love Muhammad Ali. I think he's the best. But I'm only going off of the rules and how the rules are made. And if the rules are made where you can go here and not go here, that is not the boxer's fault. You want the boxer to be like, hey, risk everything and fight this person. No, that's not how the commission has it set up. It should be set up different. It should be it should be set up better. If I'm wrong, let me know. If anybody has an opinion about what I'm talking about, please call in 1-909-844-4443.
Please say he's wrong. Thank you, guys. Please say he's wrong. Now we do have one potential mega fight coming up. I mentioned about Canelo Alvarez, who in September 12th is going to go up against the guy from Omaha, Terrence Crawford. That's a fight people want to see. two multi-division champions going at it at the best of their craft. That's what Mayweather never gave to us. He never fought the best in their prime.
Yeah.
He had chances to. I can name you several fighters he ducked. He ducked Paul Williams. He ducked Sergio Gonzalez. He ducked Winky Wright. He ducked Eric Morales. I can keep going on and on. He ducked Margarito.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm sorry.
I can name you.
Mayweather is the undisputed champ. 49-0. I'm not counting that 50th fight with the MMA fighter.
You mean
I'm not counting that. That was a spectacle. That was a money grab. I understand that. But besides that, still the best fighter, pound for pound, Money Mayweather, the money team, the man, period. Undefeated record. Speaks for itself. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at the boxing commission, people. Mic drop.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it there for now. We'll leave it there, but we're gonna get back to this topic again because
we can come back to it. We can come back to it. I just I just hate when people, it would be different if he was doing something against the rules. He's not doing anything against the rules. It's not even frowned upon. He gets whenever he gets a fight, he gets a huge paycheck, and they want him to fight, and they just hope he loses to anybody he fights to. When he gave Pacquiao a fight, I don't even think he should have gave Pacquiao the fight. Pacquiao didn't deserve that fight. He gave everybody the fight because that's what they wanted to see. So he's like, you know what? I'll fight Pacquiao. Beat Pacquiao. But the fight was worthless for me because Pacquiao had lost 5-6 fights already.
Anyway, I'm not even going to go there.
Moving right along.
Let's get some NFL news.
Let's get into the NFL. And if y'all want to holler in, the number is 1-909-844-4443. We will. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. If you got a difference of opinion, I'm willing to listen to a difference of opinion. Let me know that I'm wrong. Let me know that I said something that didn't make sense.
Please do. I'm tired of having to do it all the time. I like to hear from somebody else.
Well, on that one, what you said only made sense as, like I said, the greatest of all time. And I took Mayweather out of the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time doesn't mean you're the best of the best. It means it's a popularity contest. It means whoever the people want, the people who love. That's the greatest of all time. Whoever's the end person right then, that's the greatest of all time. It has nothing to do with stats. It has nothing to do with a killer instinct. It has nothing to do with that. It's a popularity contest. But the best of the best, pound per pound fighter, Money Mayweather.
That's why I said Jordan is the greatest of all time in basketball. It has nothing to do with stats and nothing to do with championship. It has to do with popularity, what he meant for the sport. But you so you do acknowledge now then that LeBron, then based on your argument you just said right now, LeBron is the Mayweather of basketball.
LeBron, yeah. Okay. He's the greatest of all time of basketball because it's a popularity contest. You're right. Okay. That's LeBron.
I said Jordan's the greatest of all time for the popularity contest. I said that if you want to make that argument, I'm saying LeBron then is the Mayweather. In the
I can't say that. It's still Michael Jordan because before LeBron got the stats, before he played for forever and was able to get the stats, when Michael Jordan had the points and all that, it was him. Before that, it was Kareem. So now that LeBron has played forever, and now he has the stats that makes him the best of the best. No. Greatest of all time, I give that to him. Best of the best, Michael Jordan. Then Kobe, then LeBron.
No,
but greatest of all time, LeBron, because it's a popularity contest.
No, It's actually the other way around. Jordan gets the
Well,
greatest of all
you know,
time
if we
popularity
if we
contest.
go if we going with champion, does LeBron have more championships than Michael Jordan?
Let's go. Okay, I'm glad you
I'm just
brought this
asking the
up.
question because we were going to football, but I you were mad at me about boxing, so you tried to hit me with a right hook with the MJ and the LeBron thing. I knew what you was doing. I
I'm
felt it.
glad you brought. I'm glad you brought this up because I'm glad you brought this up. So since you're talking about championships, because you understand championships is a team sport. It's a team. It's not like Mayweather where it's an individual sport. Basketball is a team sport. So
Okay.
since you did bring this up, did you know that Jordan's last year, before he retired to go play baseball, the Bulls were 57-25? Do you know the year that Jordan was playing baseball? Do you know what the Bulls record was? 55-27. A 2-game drop off. So from the last year Jordan played, 57-25, to the year after Jordan retired to play baseball, they lost 2 games. So wait a second. So if Jordan is the greatest of all time, if he's such the huge player that you want to make him out to be, how did the Bulls still maintain the same record without Jordan than they did with him?
How did they maintain?
Same record.
Repeat that again.
The year before Jordan retired, they were 57-25. The
So
year
you're talking
after,
about a
I'm talking
player
about the
on a
Chicago Bulls.
decline?
I'm talking about the Chicago Bulls, yes.
Okay.
The year he went to go play baseball and he was gone for the whole season, they went 55-27.
Okay.
So if Jordan is such a huge, amazing player that everybody, of course, say he is, how did the Bulls still maintain the same record without him?
I don't know. I was
I'll
young
tell you
back then. I
why.
don't think I watched that then.
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you
I
why.
watched the highlights now, but best of the best, pound per pound. It goes that record goes for when you make it to the playoffs. What did you do?
Yeah.
So uh, I know you're throwing useless stats at me right now.
No, I'm not.
Every
No,
time, every
it's
time that Michael
no.
Jordan made it to the playoffs, what did he do?
Because once again, it's
I'm just
not what
asking
did
a question.
he.
I'm just asking a question.
I'm answering. But I'm answering your
Every time
question.
that he made it to the playoffs, and I didn't say by himself, it was a team sport, but
What's that?
every time that he made it, did he or
Look,
did not bring a championship?
the team
I'm
won a
just,
championship. It's a
I'm
team
just asking.
sport. You keep talking about it was a one person who brought the championship himself. It's a team
I
sport.
didn't say one
He
person. I'm
he
just
had
asking.
he had
When
Scottie
Jordan
Pippen.
went to the playoffs, every time that he went to the playoffs, did his team win
No,
a trophy?
no. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when he went up against the Celtics, do you know what his record was against Larry Bird and the Celtics in the playoffs?
The finals?
No, playoffs. They can't play in the finals. They're the same conference. Do you know what his record was against Larry Bird? His career playoff record.
Was that
Take
in
a
the
wild
finals or that
guess.
was just the playoffs?
No, playoffs. I'm talking playoffs.
Oh,
Because
I apologize. I
you're giving
apologize.
a playoff
I
argument.
no. I apologize. What you did was you jumped on the miswording of mine. Every time Jordan made it to the
No.
finals, not just the playoffs. Every time he made it to the
I'm talking about
finals.
playoffs.
I know you're talking about
Playoffs.
playoffs, but I'm asking you every
He
time he made
can't
it to the
play. Look,
finals
time out.
because
Whoa. I'm gonna get
because
to that in a second.
huh?
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Okay,
The
all right.
two best teams.
I'll let you evolve to there.
Look, the two best teams in the Eastern Conference during the time of Jordan were who? Who were the two best teams in the East during the time of Jordan?
Okay. Um, it was Boston, right?
The Celtics,
And
Boston,
was it
and
Pistons?
Detroit, and
Yeah.
Pistons.
Okay.
Do you know what Jordan's career record is against the Celtics and Pistons?
No, what is it?
Against the Celtics, he was 0-6. He never
Okay.
beat the Celtics in any playoff game.
Okay.
With the Pistons, he was 10-12.
Okay. That was just in the playoffs.
Overall, that's 10-18.
Okay.
Playoffs. But listen,
Right.
this is your argument. Your
No,
argument is
that wasn't my
Jordan
argument.
and
See, you
His
missed
argument
out. My argument was every time he made it to the
in the
finals,
finals.
he did what he
Okay.
was supposed to do.
No. Okay, so you mentioned finals.
Every time he made it to the finals, he won.
Okay.
Now,
Okay. You
you caught me when I made a mistake and said every time he made it to the playoffs. But every time he made it to the finals, he won, no matter what team he had.
I'm gonna get to your point.
Oh,
The two best teams.
It's like you keep
acknowledge
throwing out
yourself with the
these
Celtics
stats like,
and
huh?
listen. I'm making a point to you. The two
I'm
best
waiting to hear the
teams
point.
during that era were the Celtics and the Pistons.
Okay.
Celtics won 3 championships. The Pistons won 2. Now you keep talking about the finals. Who did Jordan beat in the finals? Now his first time, he beat an old Lakers
Glenn
team.
White
Lakers
said
were
MJ's the
already-
GOAT.
Okay. He beat an old Lakers team. The Lakers at that time, Kareem was 40. Most of the other guys were in their mid-late 30s. Good win. I'll give him that. It's still the Lakers. Good win. He beat Portland. Never won a championship in that era. He beat Phoenix. Never won a championship in that era. He beat Seattle. Never won a championship period in that era. And he beat Utah twice. Would you argue any of those teams are anywhere close on the same level as the Celtics and Pistons?
You see what it said right there? Jordan was obviously depressed by the death of his dad.
Yeah. He was depressed by the death of his dad. He went to go play baseball.
Okay.
Not a problem. But during that time, the Bulls still was able to make the playoffs, get to the second round. Now, the only thing that killed him in the second round was that was the year when Scottie Pippen refused to play because he was butthurt because Phil Jackson was going to give the ball to Kukoc for the final shot over him. So he decided to quit on the team. You remember that? See, I remember these things.
Yeah, I mean, I hear the meaningless points that you're putting out, but the fact of the matter is, Steve, every time Jordan went to the finals, not just the playoffs,
I mean, it's just great.
He won.
He beat inferior teams.
LeBron is supposed to be a great. Every time he went to the finals, he
beat great teams. LeBron beat the Spurs and he beat Golden State in the finals. 2 legendary great squads. Who did Jordan beat in the finals that's legendary great?
Okay. Exactly. Moving right along from this one.
Okay, that's my whole point. Thank you.
Oh, all right. So I'll give you that one, and I'll take the boxing one. So let's move on to football.
Let's go to football. All right, let's see. We got people saying stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Pippen, of course, needed Jordan. But what's that? Repeat the question again. Jordan needed Pippen too. They coexisted together.
Shout out to Lamont. He's in the house. He said the champ is here.
I know. We're going to get to the Eagles. You missed our little tush push discussion we had early on about how the tush push will stay in there.
So on to the NFL.
Yeah, we look at the NFL. Let's talk about it. Who do we see now so far? We're getting a lot of back and forth about Sanders. Some people are saying he's having a good training camp. Some people are saying he's having a bad.
I think that's haters. Like I said, Shedeur Sanders. Soon as he gets the ball in his hand, and he's able to start for a team. He's going to show up and show out. He's a Sander. Period.
The funny thing is that he signed his contract this week. He's actually taking a pay cut to go play in the NFL. He made $6.1 million in NIL money last year with Colorado. He signed a contract 4 years at $4.6 million. So basically,
I'm glad he did. He solidified himself in the NFL, and I'm glad he's keeping his mouth shut because he has a lot of haters. Shador, keep your head up, sir. Uh, um, we riding with you, sir. Keep your head up. I know you got a lot of haters. Don't satisfy them by opening your mouth. Just let your stuff do the talking on the field, sir. You got this. You a
And,
Sanders.
and,
Period.
and for our person putting the comments in, yes, Bird has 3 rings, but he also has a 6-0 record against Michael Jordan. And that will stay with him for the rest of his legacy. Is that his team owned Jordan's teams. Enough said. Bird and Jordan never could play in the finals because they're in the same conference. So that's something else you got to put into effect when we talk
Bird
about.
has 3 rings.
Yes, but he
If
owns.
If you talk to Larry Bird, it's funny how you know us as commentators. You talking about Larry Bird idolizes Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird, the person you're talking about with 3 rings.
Yeah,
make sense.
I made sense to you.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, Larry Bird. Hey, we on football right now, Steve. I don't know why you keep jumping back to a point way over there. That's basketball. I get it. I get it. Devil's advocate. I see the smile on your face. I get it.
Well, give me your football viewpoint then. What's going on that you're seeing in football?
Oh, right now in football, I like the way my Carolina Panthers is looking, and I can't wait for the season to start. I'm taking all bets. Carolina. Nothing could be finer but to be in Carolina in the morning. Carolina's going to step up, and we're going to win the South this season. You heard it here first.
I'm already told you guys, they'll be the second best team in the South.
Carolina wins the South this season. Bryce Young is going to tear the NFL up this season.
Okay.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
So guys, mark this down because he'll have selective amnesia come December.
I'm not gonna have no amnesia. I don't need to have no amnesia.
Okay, you
everything Carolina, baby. Everything Carolina.
Come December when we have this conversation, he's gonna sit there and say, I never said that.
Nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Carolina. Carolina or nothing.
You guys all hearing this. Guys, mark this down. Put this in the stat box.
It is what it is.
He three-peated twice. Absolutely.
I like that. I like that, Charles. You see that? The Carolina Reapers. I like that.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Bryce Young. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Yeah, he's a hater. He's a hater. Everybody knows it. That's his nickname. His nickname is Hater.
It's not hater.
Look at him smiling. He knows what his nickname is.
I call it straight up realist.
Right.
This is me.
It is what it is.
I will speak good on a team when they're good. I'll speak bad on a team when they're bad.
Hey, but people,
that's not being a hater.
Hey, we've come to the end of our time. We will be back next week, 7 p.m. sharp. I know we started a couple minutes late, but we will be here next week at 7 p.m. sharp. Be here, and we're going to have some juiciness for you about the NFL and these NBA playoffs.
Yes.
And, man, Steve. It was nice. It was nice. Ooh, they on your back right now. They said you brought up some meaningless points, Steve. Meaningless.
Listen to me. I'm speaking real.
They on your back, Steve.
If you want to talk about it, if you want to talk about somebody and try to glorify them based on quote unquote championships, you got to put out the full story and talk about the fact that against the two teams that were the best teams of that era,
the full story is Jordan got more rings than LeBron.
The full story is that when it came down to beating the Celtics and the Pistons, he didn't get the job done.
And the full story is the reason why LeBron's stats are where they are. He's been playing forever. He's supposed to have stats like that.
Wait a second. Now LeBron went to the finals 8 straight years. How many times did he win a championship in those 8 years? 3? But who
Okay.
did he lose to? Probably one of the greatest teams of all time, Golden State, and probably one
I'll
of the
give you
second best teams of all time.
that Golden State win was a great win because there's no way they should have beat that team. That Golden State win, that one is one of the ones the conspiracy theorists. Hey, I believed in on the conspiracy theorists that looked funny right there.
Okay.
How could you beat the Splash Brothers? That just was unreal. So I give them that one. That was a heck of a turnaround right there. But hey, Glenn, thank you, and thank you everybody for tuning in to Blow the Whistle Sports. We'll be here next week 7. Hey, I can't wait to get back into it. And yes, my best friend, the hater Steve, will be here with more
I'll
hate.
be here, and I'll have new hate for you.
Hey,
you guys can keep talking all you want, but I threw facts out there.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week.
Tell me what fact I didn't throw out there. Tell me where I was wrong fact wise.
Hey,
you may not like what I have to say.
Next week, 7 p.m. Blow the Whistle Sports. All right, Steve. See you next week. You have a great week, Steve, and I can't wait to tune in for the next week.
Oh yeah.
Later.
Peace out.